All right, March 24th, 2020, and we're supposed to be under a lockdown, quote unquote, for only essentials. And it is actually rush hour. After work rush hour. It's 5:30 p.m. after work rush hour. And this traffic is actually very light. And we're traveling southbound on Western Avenue, just passing Venice. And there's this Dunkin' Donuts right here is closed. They closed at 2 p.m. So if you want coffee, there's two coffee shops over here. Both coffee shops closed at 2 p.m. Food for less. McDonald's drive-thru's open. There's Herb Weston, Council District 10's office, who just passed. That's actually going to become Mark Ridley Thomas's new office, most likely. He's going to win a runoff election. And we're in Council District 10, approaching Western Avenue. We're on Western Avenue, approaching Washington. And in terms of the street gangs in the area, I would say this is predominantly Rolling 20s Blood neighborhood. There's no Latino gang that actually claims Washington and Western. There used to be an old little neighborhood to the west called Barrio St. Andrews, but they're not really active. Southbound Western Avenue, passing Washington Boulevard. And there's the world famous Chabolita restaurant to the right. Open 24 hours. And we're going to be crossing over the 10 freeway. We'll get a look at some traffic here on the 10, see if it's thick. This is rush hour. Traffic's pretty light for Los Angeles. If you're not from Los Angeles, if you're from a smaller city, you might say to yourself, well, that looks like some normal traffic. But trust me, this is not a normal amount of traffic between 5 and 6 p.m. on a weekday. So we're on the corner of Western Avenue and Adams Boulevard. This used to be Golden Mutual Bank back in the day. And First AME Church is right by that brick building. And pretty much First AME owns all this property. They own that vacant lot, that parking lot right there on the southeast corner of Adams and Western. That actually used to be a gas station. And First AME ended up purchasing that land because they own the land right next to it. There says Golden State Mutual Life. All right, so we're southbound, and look, Koreans are slowly purchasing all this property down Western Avenue. They own pretty much all of the property on Western Avenue when you get to, let's say, Olympic, Venice, But when you get down south of Washington, south of Adams, they don't own all of it, but they're slowly purchasing it. So in this area, you have a little bit of Harpies activity, Vadio Harpies, and you have Rolling 20s Blood. Vadio Harpies is more to the east of Western. But parts of their neighborhood, you could say parts of their neighborhood extends west to Western. Now we're about to enter Rolling 30's Crip neighborhood as we cross Jefferson Avenue. This Starbucks over here on the northeast corner is relatively new. I've actually never been in that Starbucks. And there's look at the drive-thru for the Starbucks. Everyone wants coffee and you can't go in. Look at that drive-thru. Just crossing 35th Place, south on Western Avenue. There used to be a Belizean restaurant, Tumby's. That used to be Nell and John's. Very popular Belizean restaurant. And there goes the Kingdom Hall of the Jehovah's Witnesses. They have the entire block from 36 to 36th Place. All of this is 30s, Harlem 30s Crip, and ATC. ATC is also in this area. A little bit of Harpies extends into Harlem 30s neighborhood, but then you get into to the ATC, and this is world famous Fauché Junior High. This is one of the toughest schools, probably the second toughest school to go to in Los Angeles. Second probably to Horace Mann. I'm gonna have to give Horace Mann #1 ranking on toughest junior high middle school to go to during the 80s, but Fauché was not too far behind. So here's a red light at Exposition, and I've been at this intersection before, and this red light will have you backed up an entire block, and I'm only like 6 cars away from the intersection on that red light. So there's definitely lesser traffic on the streets. For those who are unaware what traffic normally looks like for Los Angeles, this is nothing. So that means a lot of people are heeding the warnings and the guidelines, and they're staying indoors. But you'll see some pedestrians out here. So here's 39th Street, famous Century liquor store on 39th and Western. There's the LAPD. We'll see if they pull me over. Hopefully not. This is King Park. I did an interview with one of the dudes from Harlem 30 right here, Martin Luther King Jr. Park. And we are approaching the intersection of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Western Avenue. And for rush hour, this is pretty good. This is actually pretty good traffic. I went right through this intersection, and normally it would take a while. I hear the world famous, we're in Roland Forge's Crip neighborhood, and the world famous little hole stroll right here because of these motels. You got the Snooty Fox to the left. You got the Mustang over here on the west side of the street. And then you have this one's actually called America's Best Value and Inns. But this used to be Comfort Inn. I believe that used to be the Comfort Inn. So those three motels all right next to each other as we pass 42nd. There's an old Security Pacific Bank with the C logo. For those who remember Security Pacific, they got bought out by Bank of America years ago. But that's right here on 43rd Street and Western. And we're approaching the intersection of Vernon Avenue and Western. And I would say this is a corner that is very active. A warning to all those that come travel to Los Angeles and are unaware of your surroundings. Be careful if you come to this corner. I say it's active because all four corners, whether it's this corner, whether it's that gas station, whether it's this corner here, or it's the liquor store, there's always something going on. Where that Metro PCS used to be McGee's Donuts, and there always used to be something going on there at McGee's Donuts. So just be careful when you come to Vernon and Western. Right now it looks beautiful, peaceful, quiet, very little bit of traffic. This is 4-6 Neighborhood Crip Hood right over here to the west. In fact, the construction of this school, this is Barack Obama Middle School, kind of wiped out a lot of the apartment buildings and properties that the 4-6 Crips would function at. But I'm gonna end this video right here at 48th and Western, and so far so good. The streets are quiet. I guess people are heeding the warnings of social distancing. There are two pedestrians right here that are about less than 6 feet apart. Are they together?